Hey, good Monday afternoon. Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen with KTTC. We are tracking some strong to severe thunderstorms on the way for Wednesday. Already a level 3 risk, so an enhanced risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. And we're really looking at any threats from wind, hail, and even a few tornadoes will be possible across the upper Midwest on Wednesdays. That is Wednesday, June 10th. That'll be the forecast discussion that we're looking into. Now, the high end of this event looks like it could be pretty impactful, but there's still some things that we need to work through because we could have some convection early on Wednesday morning, and as always, it seems like in the upper Midwest, that could limit some of our severe weather potential in the afternoon. So let's dive into the forecast. I want to start out first with the NSSL research and the Storm Prediction Center, their total severe weather probability. It does give us about a 45% hatched probability of seeing some type of severe weather in these areas in that black hatched circle, essentially. So anywhere within this black hatched area, we'll see a high potential for strong to severe thunderstorms. And this is really looking at maybe midday Wednesday. So the timing, really looking maybe anywhere from the mid-afternoon into the early evening hours. So from the Storm Prediction Center, here is that SPC outlook. So that level 3 in brown, that's that enhanced risk of severe weather. That covers pretty much the I-35 in west, and then east all the way towards the I-94 corridor in central Wisconsin and as far east as about Lake Michigan. So we'll zoom out here and you can see this large area that is under this enhanced risk of severe weather. And the Storm Prediction Center, with their 2:30 p.m. update on Monday here, again, the date is June 8th, they did extend this farther to the west and farther to the east to cover pretty much all of the eastern half of Minnesota and then pretty much all of Wisconsin under that level 3 threat. So they did extend it a little farther south too compared to the morning update, but the big thing is it now covers our I-35 and west counties too. So make sure to be weather aware. You'll want to hit that like and subscribe button on this YouTube video, as we'll have some more detailed forecasts coming up here throughout the next couple of days too. But let's right now dive into what we know at this point. So we do have that first alert day in effect for the storms, and we'll talk about the heat too that we'll have coming up on Wednesday. So just looking at timing wise, Wednesday probably early afternoon and evening. We could really range anywhere from 1 until maybe 6 to 8 o'clock in the evening, and I think the sweet spot is probably right in between that time frame there, maybe 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a little earlier than typical for thunderstorms this type of year. We have that level 3 risk out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. Then our threats, wind, hail, and tornadoes, are all in play coming up on Wednesday. So let's look at some model data here, and really the one convective model that goes out far enough is the RFS, so that's what we're going to look at here. This is Wednesday at 3 p.m. and I just want to start out with how much energy we have in the atmosphere, with dew points maybe in the upper 60s and low 70s. It's very humid, a very humid air mass, and what happens here is we'll have a cold front that'll sweep through, and you can see no cape back behind this. So we have the cold front that'll move through, and then just look at this rich environment that we have across Iowa, Missouri, and into Minnesota. These are some of the highest cape values that the RFS has spit out this spring and summer season, and that is right through northeastern Iowa and then into southern Minnesota. And the one trend that I've noticed this year is that where we have the highest cape values at, most of the thunderstorms have been forming just to the north of that pocket of really, really strong cape values. So really for a strong thunderstorm, you really just need 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram for your cape values. Well, we have an excess of that. We're up over 4,000 for that cape value. So a lot of energy there. The one caveat, the one unknown that we have for Wednesday that, again, could throw a wrench into the forecast is the convection in the morning. So this is at 4 a.m., again, still looking at the RFS model. notice this line of thunderstorms, and we could actually see some severe weather in the morning, maybe some wind and some hail. This line at 4 a.m. So I have it here at 4 a.m. The biggest thing is we have to get this line out of the region by maybe 7, 8 o'clock for the atmosphere to destabilize itself again for thunderstorms into the afternoon. Now, the RFS does have it moving out of the region by about 7 a.m. So if we have any lingering cloud cover or lingering showers, that'll really limit our ability for strong thunderstorms in the afternoon. Now, the RFS does think that we overcome this. So notice by about noon, we do have maybe some drizzle spots in some locations out to the west of I-35, but that shouldn't really do too much in terms of limiting our thunderstorm potential into the afternoon. So as long as we clear out enough, the RFS does think that we start to see a cluster of thunderstorms start to bubble up and fire up by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So here's some of those strong thunderstorms starting to develop, and we have some storms developing down into southeastern Iowa at that point, probably just west of Burlington and west of the Quad Cities. But this line here will progress and move to the east-southeast fairly quickly too. So watch, this is at 6 o'clock now, and look at that cluster of thunderstorms. And this is where, again, all modes of severe weather will be in play: wind, hail, and even some tornadoes. And if we have these individual supercells, that's when I'll really be concerned with our tornado threat moving Wednesday late afternoon and then into Wednesday evening. So that's at 6 o'clock. So our time frame, probably about 2 to 8 o'clock is what we're looking at. So here's what we know with that alert day. Timing-wise, I'm putting it 1 to 8 p.m. is when we need to be on high alert for strong thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon and getting into Wednesday evening. Those threats, wind, hail, and a few tornadoes, especially if we have those discrete supercells that form like the RFS is suggesting, by about 3 to 4 o'clock, that's when we could have maybe some dangerous weather. Really, if we start to see, the shear and the rotation in the atmosphere, that's when the tornado threat will definitely play a role. So make sure to have ways to receive alerts throughout the midday on Wednesday. Your 10-day forecast: 87 for the high on Tuesday. We'll have some fog in the morning tomorrow. Those strong thunderstorms on Wednesday, I didn't even touch on it. It's humid on Wednesday too. We could have heat indices anywhere from 95 to maybe 100 to 105 in some spots. The thing will be, if those thunderstorms develop maybe 1 to 2 o'clock, that'll limit our daytime heating, and that'll limit where our high temperatures will be at. So I'm a little conservative at 88 degrees. If those thunderstorms don't form until 3 to 4 o'clock, maybe we could reach 90 for that high on Wednesday. A few stray lingering thunderstorms in the morning, and then in the late evening hours on Thursday, then we kind of have a pattern flip. After this front moves through, we have temperatures really nice this upcoming weekend, upper 70s on Saturday, low 70s on Sunday. But make sure to be weather aware coming up on Wednesday. We'll have another update here on our YouTube channel on Tuesday, and then we'll probably update again early Wednesday morning with what we are looking at for Wednesday afternoon. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you with tomorrow's update sometime in the afternoon.